Tishrei starts the year with Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Decorate your sukkah and then march on Simchat Torah. Cheshvan Kislev, it's turned cold and time to spin our dreidels. Here comes spring, it's Tevet Shvat, Adar and brave Queen Esther. Pesach comes, the flowers bloom, it's Nisan, Iyar, Sivan. When it's hot, it must be Tammuz, Av, and Elul. It's so nice to celebrate our holidays so festive. And our year will start again with Tishrei, Cheshvan, Kislev.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm Rabbi Susan Abramson, coming to you from the sanctuary at Temple Shalom Emeth in Burlington, Massachusetts. And it's my pleasure to introduce this evening's service. We are this week celebrating our teachers and our staff and our religious school students for having an amazing year at the Temple Shalom Emeth Religious School. We serve kids from pre-Hebrew or 3 or 4 years old all the way up through confirmation class. And we have a wonderful, close-knit community here. And I've been so proud of the way that our students and our teachers and our director and everybody have risen to the occasion over these past few months to actually intensify and increase the amount of Jewish studying that they've done. I've never had the kids in the upper grades learn so much Hebrew as they have in these past couple of months, doing services and learning prayers for the service in Hebrew and English and being creative. So I'm so proud of all of you. And so I wanted to, in particular, thank Rhonda Rubin, our religious school director, who is stepping down from her position this coming year to pursue many other activities in her life. And I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure and a joy to have worked with her, and she brings such a wonderful spirit to our community. And I know she'll be missed in that position, but she's not leaving our community, so we'll be seeing her around. I also wanted to thank all of our teachers who just rose to the occasion, particularly over the past few months, and who have taught our children not only about Jewish studies, but also a love for Judaism, a love for the Jewish people, and the importance of Jewish values. So thank you to them as well. I also wanted to thank our cantorial soloist, Ben Silver, for being one of the hearts of our community and bringing the joy of learning about music, Jewish music, and having our children sing and just feel their spirits uplifted by his wonderful tunes. I also wanted to thank our madrichim, our teenagers, our religious school aides for everything that they do to bring joy and added learning to our classrooms. I'd also like to thank the chairs of our religious school committee, Lisa Arsenault and Jen Snyder, for doing an amazing job of organizing our committee. And thank you also to all the members of our committee who helped to organize our school. People don't realize how much investment the members of our committee, and particularly the chairs, have to put in to making sure our school runs smoothly, to pinch hit when somebody's absent, to be here if I couldn't be here or Rhonda couldn't be here, to figure out how to solve issues and just make our school the best that it can be. So I can't thank you guys enough for all that you've done. We now continue our service with our cantorial soloist, Ben Silver, leading us in Lecha Dodi to welcome the Shabbat bride.
Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Lekabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Lekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad, B'Shemu Tiferet B'lit Ilah. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בני שבת נקבלה.
We continue our service with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, and I would like to invite Carissa Rubin and Lily Rubin, our director Rhonda's two daughters, to light the candles for us this evening. Take it away, Rubens.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who have kindled light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, 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 amen. Now please turn in your prayer books to page 146 and rise for the Baruch Hu.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praised by Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Vaed.
Please turn to page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chachma poteah sha'arim, uvivuna meshana itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsager et hakohavim, b'mishmerotehem ba'akir kirtzonam, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei hosha, v'hosha mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai Sebaot Shmo, El Hai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gate, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from another. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah Umitzvot, Hukim Amishpatim, Otanu Limanta. All Kain Adonai Eloheinu, B'shach Benu, Ukumenu, Nasia Behukecha. V'nisma B'divrei Toracha, Umitzvotecha, Le'olam Va'ed. Ki Hem Chayenu V'ore Yamenu Uvahem. Nege olam v'layla. V'yahavtecha al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for your life and doing them lengthens our day. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people. Baruch atah Adonai, Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. This is God, glorious, majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please turn to page 154. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha u'fumecha Ukshartam litot al yadecha, v'hayu litot al fot bein einecha, uktav tam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Lima'an tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzotai, v'heyitem kedoshim Elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hoteki etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lehiot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions to which I charge you this day. Press them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead.
Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emeth.
And now we continue with the singing of Mi Chamocha, the song the Israelites sang at the shore of the sea when they crossed the Red Sea to freedom from Pharaoh's grip.
Mi chamocha Baalim Adonai, Mi chamocha Nadar Kodesh, Nora Tehilo Ose Phila, Mohutecha Uvenecha, Rokeh Yam Lifnei, Moshe Umiriam, Ze'eli Anu V'Amru, Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed. Who is like you, O God, among the gods we are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witness your severity, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God. They cried, Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef ele, Nora tehilot osef ele, Adonai Leolam va'ed, Adonai Yimloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Ze'eli anu v'yamru, Ze'eli anu v'yamru, Adonai Yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed.
Please turn to page 160 for Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushma Hosseinu Uvoenu L'chaim Shalom Le'atav ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat la'asot et Hashabbat l'dor timbri olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashmayim ve'et ha'aretz. Uveyom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, ori le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. And now please turn the page to 164 and please rise if you are able and willing for the tefillah. Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana svatai tivta. Ananananana ufiyagi tehilateha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana svatai tivta. Ananananana ufiyagi tehilateha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagidol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei va'Avot ve'Imahot, u'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, God of our fathers and mothers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, and God of Rachel, and God of Leah, the great, mighty, and awesome God, transcendent God, who bestows loving kindness, creates everything out of love, remembers the love of our fathers and mothers, and brings redemption to their children's children for the sake of the divine name. Sovereign deliverer, helper, and shield, blessed are you, Adonai, Sarah's helper, Abraham's shield. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah.
Page 168. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lahoshia, Mechakel Hayim Behesed, Mechaye Hakol Barachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayim Emunato Lishene Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umi Domeh La Melech Memit, Umachaye Umatmiya Yeshua. V'ne'eman Atah Lahachayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol.
You are forever mighty, Adonai, you give life to all. You sustain life through love, giving life to all, through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those of you who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up and faithfully giving life to all. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye Hakol.
Please turn to page 178. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Ki Atah Hu Melech Hadon L'chal HaShalom V'tov Beinecha Levarich Et Amcha Yisrael B'chol Eit U'B'chol Sha'a B'Shlomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Hamavorech Et Amo Yisrael B'Shalom.
Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamavorech et Amo Yisrael B'Shalom.
Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Ki atahu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarich et Amcha Yisrael B'chol eit u'v'chol sha'a shalomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We continue now with the Misha Berach prayer on page 371. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. This evening we think of Eliza Major. We think of all of those who are suffering from this horrible disease in our community, in our family, in our country, and around the world. We think of all of those who are suffering from other illnesses as well. And we think of ourselves and everybody we know who's continuing to suffer in a spiritual and emotional way from having the society change so much around us. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for all of our health to be restored and all of our strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Mishe Berach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach imotenu Mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pause for a moment of silent prayer.
Please turn back in your prayer books to page 180 and join me in the singing of Oseh Shalom at the bottom of the page. Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
And I'd now like to call upon our religious school director, Rhonda Rubin, to introduce the next portion of our service. Take it away, Rhonda.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. welcome to our service. Not the circumstances anyone would have expected, but thank you all for joining us. If I were at the temple, if I were on the bima, I would do my usual, obviously, to thank the rabbi and Cantor Ben, and to all the parents and families and grandparents and the extended village that we would have there with everyone to celebrate. Things are a little bit different, but we are still all here as a community, and I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us. Thank everyone for the year we had up until Corona took our lives over, and thank everyone for participating as we continue through this crisis. So without further ado, I would like to introduce some of the classes and thank the teachers for all that they've done this year. First, to the Olive class, to Miss Katie. Unbelievable that it's been Miss Katie's first year. Thank you to Katie for everything you've done for the kids, for the parents, in helping everyone get excited about learning. With a large age range and a good sized class of boys and girls, there have obviously been some obstacles, but everyone has learned so much this year, and we just want to thank you for everything you've done.
Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom. It's Miss Katie here, and I just wanted to take this time to say how much I enjoyed my first year as the lead Aleph Adventure teacher. I learned so much this year that I can't wait to take with me for years to come, and I couldn't have done that without having such amazing students and the help of their families. Of course, our support faculty, Miss Rhonda, Rabbi Susan, and of course my wonderful Madrachim, Lily and Wensley. I especially couldn't have done it without those two in particular, helping us manage the messes and staying on time, keeping the flow of the classroom, and supporting the students, helping them learn their Aleph Bet. I am just so grateful for you both. And I really am so thankful and grateful that Rabbi Susan reached out and offered me this position, because I have learned so much from it, and I've become, I believe, a better teacher from all the experiences that we went through during the year. And I hope that all of my students enjoyed coming in and learning with me on Sunday mornings. I enjoyed learning with you as well, and learning about you and your family, where you come from. So I'm so happy and so thankful for being in this position. And until we get to see each other again, I hope that everybody stays safe and healthy. Keep learning, keep creating, and stay positive and kind like I know you all are. And just know that I'm always here if you ever need me for any reason. And so I hope that I get to see everybody very soon. So until then, Shalom Aleichem, and we'll talk soon. Bye, take care.
And to Susan and Sharon, we are making you a dynamic duo together. As everyone knows, Susan focuses on the Judaica and Sharon on the Hebrew. They combine classes 2-3 and then 4-5. And for each class, the kids sit in the same room and the teachers swap for their learning. So thank you, first of all, to Susan for your lively discussions, for entertaining the kids, for all of your work in working with them for their tzedakah projects, and for everything you do to make the class more interesting. And to Sharon for all that they've learned in Hebrew, their letters, their vowels, their prayers. It's just incredible what you've accomplished with these kids and all that they've learned. Some of our kids have actually been able to have a class service. Some of their services have unfortunately been online, but they've all participated and they've all learned an enormous amount this year. So thank you.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone. What a strange way to end our great year of learning together. Life right now is hard for all of us, but I've really appreciated how much our groups and Shabbat Emeth as a whole make up a wonderful community. I appreciate all of you more than ever before. 2nd and 3rd grade studied creation, Adam and Eve, and what happened to their sons, Cain and Abel. We read about Noah's Ark and the flood, and then built the Tower of Babel with Legos. Before starting the story of Abraham and Sarah, the first Jews, I hope that whenever you see the stars at night, you remember that they represent Abraham and Sarah's descendants. 4th and 5th grade studied the story of the Exodus from Egypt and had serious discussions about the 10 Commandments. We also studied other stories from Torah, including the 10 spies who rebelled, the daughters of Zelophehad who wanted their own share of the land, and the strange deaths of Nadav and Avihu. And of course, we read stories of Ham. And all the students wrote some great stories and drew wonderful pictures that showed they understood what we learned. And I certainly enjoyed my sessions with the 6th and 7th grade, where we read different texts and then applied them to our own lives. I was pleased to see all my classes bring in tzedakah and then decide where to give the funds. And bravo to the 6th and 7th graders for their beautiful posters and work on the raffle, which raised so much money. I've been grateful to teach each of you and will miss you over the summer. Actually, I've missed you since Purim. But it's been delightful to Zoom with you, and parts of our sessions have been almost as fulfilling as meeting face to face. Almost, because I didn't get to read your stories or see your pictures. But I hope we'll make up for that in the fall. I hope you've learned that Torah and Jewish learning is an important part of your lives, just as it is in mine.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm really glad to have this opportunity to talk about how the school year went and how the students were so wonderful and how much I enjoyed my experience. Forgive me if I look at my notes because I don't want to forget anything that went on. To my students, there's so many things you learned about this year, and even more important, so many skills that you mastered. I just sat back in admiration for everybody from the 2nd grade through the 7th grade. Each one of you is special. Teaching using video conferencing is still a work in progress for me. When classes have worked, they've gone pretty smoothly, and we've had great participation from the students. The amazing thing is they want to keep going. They want to keep holding these classes, and who would have thought that? But they set goals for themselves earlier this year, and they want to meet those goals, and so they are willing to keep on going. And now I have some thank yous to do. I'm fortunate to have Susan Phillips as my teaching partner. We collaborate, we share what's going on that day or how we're feeling about stuff, and sometimes we retreat to the corners to have a good laugh about things. I think that laughter really is a joy at that time. Thank you, parents. Without your commitment, your children would not be getting the Jewish education that they really deserve to get. You get them to school. You ask questions. You support them, and you support us as teachers. Thank you to Rhonda for her leadership. She really makes going to school a pleasure. Thank you to the rabbi whose tireless efforts make these services possible. It's a challenge in these times during the pandemic when we can't see each other to maintain the closeness that we have as a community. I hope that next year we are hand in hand for services like this and we celebrate Shabbat together. Shabbat Shalom.
And to Josh. Josh, what you've done with the 6-7 kids is incredible. The kids come in each week, or prior to Corona, came in each week, excited to have lively discussions, excited to be able to learn more about the Parsha each week. And during this past couple of months, few weeks, during Corona time, your Zoom classes have been not just interesting, but a great opportunity for these kids to get together. So thank you to Josh, thank you to the 6-7 kids, thank you to the families, and everyone for participating in the earlier part of the year and then this later part of the year.
Hi everybody, Shabbat Shalom. This past year at religious school, I, along with the students, primarily focused our learning within Jewish text that oftentimes took the form of delving into the Parsha, the weekly Torah portion. Aside from learning just content, in the narrative and the trajectory of the Torah and the contents within it, the story within it. What I find to be most powerful and most useful in Jewish text study, in Parsha study, is not only learning its story and bringing it into our time today, but trying to find ourselves within the text. And even more so, maybe, than that, and what I've stressed to the students for the last 3 years, is we all, young and old alike, have an obligation and a right to make the text our own, to see ourselves in it, to leave our mark on it, to hold it fast, to own it, to wrestle with it, to struggle with it, to love it, but put our own spin on it that only we as individuals can. We're one link in a very, very long chain, and I stressed that to the students, and I hoped that they see that, and I hoped that they took that and were able to wrestle with it, especially as many of them prepared for their bar and bat mitzvahs. It was a pleasure to learn with them and all of you for the past several years. I look forward and hope to do it more in the future. Shabbat Shalom.
So to everyone, I just wanted to say again, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to everyone, and we will get through this as a community, and we will be in touch and hopefully all be able to be together soon. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Jen and I, as the co-chairs of the Religious School Committee, would like to take a moment to thank Rhonda for a wonderfully amazing year as the director of the Religious School. This year would not have been possible without her dedication and hard work.
Rhonda has always gone that extra mile to help the children of the religious school to shine. She knows each child by name and always welcomes every parent through the door. We would like to virtually present this gift card to you and thank you, Rhonda, for everything you do. We want to thank all the teachers for a wonderful year. Thank you, Katie, Sharon, Susan, and Josh, for providing a Jewish education to our children. We would like to present these virtual gift cards to you. Thank you.
This is a song written by Julie Silver, no relation to me, that expresses gratitude for the teachers in our lives, called Aseh Lecha Rav. I thank you for all the things you've given, for the lessons that you've taught, and for the way you listen. Your soul has changed me in ways I cannot comprehend. All the honor goes to you, my teacher, my good friend. Aseh lecha rav, uknei lecha chaver. Aseh lecha rav, aseh lecha rav, uknei lecha chaver. Aseh lecha rav, yehi veitecha beit va'ad lachachamim, beit va'ad lachachamim, beit va'ad lachachamim. Yehi veitecha beit va'ad lachachamim, beit va'ad lachachamim, beit va'ad lachachamim. How do I thank you for all the things you've given, for the lessons that you've taught, and for the way you listen. Your soul has changed me in ways I cannot comprehend. All the honor goes to you, my teacher, my good friend.
We now continue our service with the Aleinu on page 586. Please rise if you are able.
Aleinu lishabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liyotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kichol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת, אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
The introduction to the Kaddish prayer, the prayer for those who have died, may be found on page 599. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recall David B. Goldberg, Herb Gindlin, Andrea Elise, and Sylvia Kornetsky, who died during this past month. And we add to their names the names of those whose yahrzeits or anniversaries of whose deaths occur this week: Kate Spector, Lenore Waldron, Cheryl Currier, Claire D. Fowler, Abraham Damelin, Morris Berger. And at this time, you may also keep in your hearts and minds those who you've lost personally, loved ones, friends, and also keep in mind those who we do not know who have died during this past week, month, and past few months from this horrible virus. We pause for a moment of silent prayer. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. Please rise if you are able to continue with the Kaddish prayer on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah, b'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'v'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach l'olam l'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to our country, to all Israel and all the world, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. We now continue with the Kiddush, the prayer over the wine, and the Motzi, the prayer over the challah.
The heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen.
Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Motzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And now please join me in our closing song, The Tree of Life, and I hope you'll clap along. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all of its paths are peace. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all of its paths are peace. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.